Sage Forsaken here, and today we're looking at the final faction, Kharn drone class of Alien. This figure is at local Dollar Trees. In fact, I found this figure at two different Dollar Trees in my area. Though the human figures from the final faction are still not in my area, they are supposed to be getting nationwide release all over. So hopefully we'll see those in the next week or so. To look over the figure, let's first talk about the sculpt. The sculpt is actually pretty good. They got scars. They got all sorts of, very detailed. To kind of do a height comparison here next to Fixer, you can see he's about the same height as Fixer, maybe a little shorter. He is shorter than Batman, but Batman is supposed to be a really tall human. And of course, Titan just kind of stands over them all, head and shoulders above them all. So, obviously, this is a 3 3/4 inch style figure. It is 5 points of articulation. So as you look at the sculpt, focusing in on the sculpt here, like I said, he has all sorts of scarring. They did throw a wash on him to kind of make some of the figures stand out a little bit. However, obviously, as a customizer, I'd want to hit it with more paint to make more of the sculpting stand out in general, and maybe a little less silver paint, more like some other sorts of paints, like some different washes and stuff. The arm does swivel all the way around. They're just swivels. They do not have joints where like they actually go outward at all. They just go in a circle like an old Star Wars figure. The legs do, of course, articulate forward this far, and they'll articulate back this far, so it can look like he's really in a loping pose if you have some sort of stand or some way to have him in the air like that. He can lean this far back. He has a really wide foot base, so for a cheap figure to be able to actually articulate and not fall over, it's pretty amazing. It doesn't really need a figure stand because even with some of the bigger guns, he stands up pretty good if you just shift how he's standing usually. There is writing on the feet of the figure made in China as well as Greenbrier International. And of course, he comes with one weapon. There's the sculpting on the back. It's kind of like just muscular on the back, but then like lower, there's scales and stuff. And then, of course, the one weapon he comes with is more like a pistol type, but it fits in either hand really good, snugly. That's one thing I'm really impressed with. Not only did they make the feet wide enough in their alien design that it stands up on its own, they also made the weapons so that they will stay in the hand without all the struggle you'd have with other budget lines, and even, quite frankly, any line of figures. Sometimes getting them to hold their weapons right is a problem. So here's one of the weapon packs, some of the weapons from the previous weapon pack. And you can see they can hold the weapon, and even though that weapon is kind of heavy and awkward, he can hold it straight out without any problems. Look how good the eye paint is there. That's actually really good. That red really stands out. And then, of course, you can see the way the grip is shaped. It's made just for his 3-fingered grip. And I can hold it by the weapon, it doesn't fall out. That's what I'm talking about when I say the grip is really tight. So a lot of good things about the figure there. Let's get realigned here. So I'm putting in the biggest weapon from the other weapon pack into his hand. And this one, he does have to be either leaned kind of back or else he will tip over. It's just too big of a gun. Now, if I had the other weapon pack with the backpacks on him, the backpack weight might help hold him straight without having to lean him way back. But if you do lean him way back here, you can see that he will still hold that gun without any problems because of his wide foot base. So it just may change what posing you can get out of the figure, depending on that. Anyway, the next video will be with the other weapon pack that has the backpacks and the small grapple gun. And of course, I have gotten some new news about future figures and things of that nature. I'm hearing from some of the creative teams through a third party. So hopefully I'll get that in future videos. Like, comment, and subscribe, and pour on the plastic.